Hey guys, welcome back to Midweek Live number 3 of all coronavirus edition. I don't know where Jason is right now. I must have lost him or something like that, so it's just going to be me tonight with you guys. So hey, first week we talked about why does God allow bad things to happen. Last week we talked about what happens when I die. And number 3 tonight, we're going to be talking about another difficult topic, but I think one that's really relevant with things going on right now, and it's depression. We're going to be talking about this idea of depression. What is it? And what does it have to do with the Bible and God? So, from this event, I think there's a lot of things that have changed in our lives. And if you're like me, when things get stressful or when things get hard, you like to cope in different ways. One of my main coping mechanisms for stress or boredom, whatever the case was always sports. But as many of you sports junkies know out there, there's absolutely nothing on ESPN. There's absolutely nothing on SportsCenter, unless you want to watch marbles racing, but I doubt that you want to do that. The point is, a lot of us cope with stress and anxiety in different ways, and a lot of those things have been taken away. Sports have been taken away. School, for those of you that like school out there, school has been taken away in a lot of cases. Hanging out with friends has been taken away. Just hanging out with friends at Dutch Bros has been taken away. All these things suddenly gone. And even with social media, I feel like we become more isolated and we crave real relationships. So this has led us to a deeper place of anxiety and not being able to cope with it. This has caused a lot of questions about what our future is going to look like. What's life going to look like after this is done? What's life going to look like now? I realize for some of you seniors right now that are watching this, some of you guys are wondering right now, what's my graduation going to look like? Maybe unfortunately some of you out there have gotten a family member or a loved one that has been diagnosed with COVID-19. Are they going to be okay? Maybe you're asking yourself the question, am I going to get sick? Maybe you've had a family member or a parent lose a job recently and you're wondering about what the future is going to look like. This has caused a lot of questions and anxiety about our future and what life looks like afterwards. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to be discussing all these questions, all these topics in this topic of depression and what that looks like for us. So we want you to go to your Zoom groups right now, talk about it together, and I'll be back for part 2. Hey guys, welcome back from your discussion groups. Hope you had a good time talking together. We're talking about the topic of depression tonight. Now, that word depression is used a lot in our culture and our society today. In fact, I think at times it can be over-exaggerated. But I think through this event that as it's progressed, there might be a few of you out there that if you were to be honest with yourself right now, you would say that you feel depressed. You would say that you feel like you've lost interest in daily life, in daily habits, and not looking forward to the future. We want to talk about that more tonight, and we're going to talk about that from the Bible, actually. The Bible has a lot to say about depression. In fact, there's people in the Bible who I would say have felt depressed. So, in Psalm 42, the psalmist, the writer of this chapter, writes this, and he says, "As a deer pants for flowing streams, so pants my soul for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God. When shall I come and appear before God?" Now here's an interesting part. He says, "My tears have been my food day and night, while they say to me continually, 'Where is your God?' These things I remember as I pour out my soul, how I would go with the throng and lead them in procession to the house of God with glad shouts and songs of praise, a multitude keeping festival." And he says, "Why are you cast down, O my soul? And why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him, my salvation and my God." And he says again, "My soul is cast down within me. Therefore I remember you from the land of Jordan and of Hermon from Mount Mizmar. Deep calls to deep at the roar of your waterfalls. All your breakers and your waves have gone over me. By day the Lord commands his steadfast love, and at night his song is with me, a prayer to the God of my life. I say to God, my rock, why have you forgotten me? Why do I go mourning because of the oppression of the enemy? As with a deadly wound in my bones, my adversaries taunt me, while they say to me continually, 'Where is your God?' And he says again, 'Why are you cast down, O my soul? And why are you in turmoil within me? Hope in God, for I shall again praise him, my salvation and my God." I think there's a few things that we can take out of this passage right here. The first thing is this. I think we often look at the Bible and we think that it's full of perfect people, but nothing could be further from the truth. This book right here is about people just like you and me. In fact, you might have heard a few things in there that you resonate with right now, some questions you're asking about life and about God. Several times, if you picked it up, the writer said, "Why are you cast down, O my soul?" That's like in our day saying, "Why are you so depressed? Why are you so down?" And then he says another interesting thing. He says, "My tears have been my food day and night." This guy has been crying a lot. And he talks about, God, where are you? These are really honest questions. I think there's a few things that we can learn from this, and that is we need to be honest with ourselves right now. Maybe you need to be honest with yourself right now and realize that, you know what? I'm not doing okay right now. You know what? I feel alone. I feel isolated. If you're being honest right now, maybe through this event, you realized, I feel forgotten. No one's checked in on me. No one's talked to me at all. You're not alone. But be honest about those things. Be honest about them. And then the other thing is this, is that we need to talk to other people about it. We need to not stay isolated. We need to talk to other people about it. And in a sense, that's what the psalmist is doing by writing these things out. He's processing them. And that's going to take processing this with people. And if you notice, the other thing that he does is he looks forward to the future. It's important that you right now, you need to realize this, students. Coronavirus isn't going to be the rest of our lives. COVID-19 isn't going to be the rest of our lives. This is a season that we're going through right now. Your season of depression, your season of doubts, your season of questions, this is it's a season. And there's going to be a day when you're out of this. And there's going to be a day when we're all hanging out together and having fun. And there's going to be a day when you can go to Dutch Bros and hang out with people. Those days are coming, and we need to hope for those days. Those of you that are low in your walk with the Lord right now, there's going to be a day when your relationship with God is going to be better. There's going to be a day, even through this, that your relationship with God can grow stronger through this time right now. So we need to hope. We need to have expectation that God is with us. We need to be honest about our doubts. We need to be honest about our questions, and we need to process those things together. And finally, I would say this. There's a season in my life where I was depressed, clinically depressed. And there's a few things that helped me. One of the biggest things was being honest, but then secondly, I found people who would shut up and listen to me. And I'd encourage you right now to reach out to people that can just be good listeners and help you process things right now. We shouldn't be doing this alone by any means. And I know with social distancing and all of those things, it's made it really hard to do. But still, don't be afraid to reach out to people. Don't be afraid to reach out to us and let us know, I'm not doing okay. I need help. I need to talk with people. I need someone to listen to me right now and process life and process my future and process these questions. So we're actually going to take that opportunity to do that again right now. Go to your Zoom discussion groups. Let's talk about these things together. Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a really good time in your discussion groups talking about deep and meaningful things. For this last section, I want to talk to those of you that are maybe doing well. This last segment, we were more directing it towards people who are really struggling right now. But there might be a few of you people out there, which I cannot resonate with this at all. You're actually thriving in this environment. You introverts out there, you're like, yes, this is awesome right now. I get to be by myself all the time, catch up on all my shows, get some me time. God bless you. But here's what I'd say to those of you that are on a spiritual high or emotional high right now, is don't forget the people around you. There's people who've lost their jobs through this. There's people whose futures have been drastically affected by this. There's people who've lost family members and loved ones through this COVID-19 stuff. Don't forget those people. In fact, those of you, when you're in your room having the time of your life all by yourself, if anyone comes to your mind at all, and you wonder, man, I wonder how that person's doing. It just came to my mind. They just popped into my mind. Here's what I want you to do. Reach out to them, FaceTime them, DM them, whatever you got to do to reach out to them and just let them know, like, I was thinking about you and I was just checking in to see how you're doing. These are going to be really powerful things as we move forward through this, however long this season is going to be. These are going to be moments that are going to be super impactful for people as they're dealing with depression or as they're dealing with doubts or questions. You guys can help other people out there. We need to be doing those things together. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. We cannot do this alone. We need to be doing this together. We need to be doing this as a family. And that's what these groups are all about. is creating some type of family atmosphere where we can have these difficult conversations together. So we're going to throw it to our discussion groups one more time, and then I will be back this next week to tackle another topic. But we love you guys. If you need anything, please reach out to us. We'll see you later.